Grant, how do you as forget about this Republican, Democrat, but we're Americans. I mean, we obviously have sincere ideological differences, but how do you listen to this story, what happened? The last words of this 32-year-old, beautiful, intelligent, talented young woman dies literally cradled in her father's arms, says, "Help me, Dad." I mean, how do you envision that in your head? And then look America in the face if you're a jurist in San Francisco in this case and say, oh, yeah, the right thing was done. You know, I get it. Justice isn't always perfect, but this was not imperfect, Grant. This was an absolute travesty. This was a miscarriage of justice. This was a disgrace. I mean, just quick on this. Illegal alien, known drug user, admits to firing the gun. Disputes how it was fired, by the way, nonsensically, in my opinion, but no one's questioning the gun was fired in his possession. The gun is stolen from a federal agent. He flees the scene on video. He then throws the gun in San Francisco Bay. And we can't get a conviction for involuntary manslaughter? Folks, I mean, as you beautifully said in that open, if this is the case, man, all is lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and to think, Dan, it comes on the heels of a verdict from another court where a Benghazi terrorist skates on murder charges. Justice is dead in America, it feels like.
You know, it does, Grant. And I didn't even, the Benghazi tie-in was that's what hooked me as I was listening to you. You're right. It just feels like there's two standards of justice. The right standard where Lady Justice is blind and what's going on now, which isn't justice. Who knows what this is? Is this chaos? I mean, I don't know what's going on right now. But what's interesting about this case, too, and this entire illegal immigration argument, you kind of hinted at it in your opening as well. Why is illegal immigration the one crime where a certain portion of the American electorate always talks about it in reference to the ramifications on the bad guy? Nobody does that for something like burglary. Like, hey, you know, we caught a burglar in the guy's house down here in Palm City, but we don't want to arrest him because it's going to inconvenience him and he's got to go to work the next day. And, you know, he got caught breaking into your house. But with illegal immigration, this is always discussed in terms of the infringements upon people who broke the law. Not legal immigrants like my wife, my mother-in-law, my great-grandparents. Not patriotic, law-abiding American citizens like us. It's always like, well, if we don't give amnesty, these poor folks, they're going to have to do this. Listen, I get it. Life is tough. But we have rules. This is a constitutional republic. If you don't respect those rules, then that right hand and that Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag on your citizenship oath, you haven't earned it. I'm sorry. And I'm glad you hinted at that because illegal immigration is a very serious problem, and this case should open everybody's eyes.